Good evening and welcome to the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. And it's the first Monday of each month. We taste a different wine. And this evening it is the Herdade do Peso's Trinca Bolotas. Is that because it makes you boloto? I wonder. I think it's Portuguese for acorn. We'll find out a little bit more about this brew from Phil, who's introducing it to us this evening. Let's bring on the team, though, the Wine Ninjas. Ladies first, Penny Albertella in Devon in the UK. Good evening to you. How are you, Penny?
Hi, I'm absolutely fine. Good to see you all.
Excellent. In the boudoir, I see.
I am. Yes, compete with my mum.
Excellent. A nice fur. And that's how it's going to be tonight, right? This is the Wine Club after all. And Neil, a.k.a. Alan Tejo. Good evening to you, Neil. How are you?
Evening.
I was going to give you a round of applause then, and I thought Penny would feel left out. This is for both of you. And our very special guest and head wine ninja tonight, having chosen this wine, which I found at the fabulous Estado Liquida, which I went into for the first time. Oh my God, Phil, you know this place, don't you? Good evening to you, Phil.
That's a great place, yeah.
Isn't it amazing? I tried to make a video. I just didn't have enough space on my phone for the aisles and aisles of Portuguese wine and beverages and goodness knows what they've got in there. What an amazing wine shop. I've never been anywhere like it in my whole life.
The staff is amazing also. They just, either you ask something and they go there. And they're like, they know exactly where it is, or like, we don't have it. Like, I forgot what we asked for that they didn't have. And it was just like, they know the whole store. I'm like, the whole place? So
yeah, it's unusual to go to a shop in this day and age, isn't it? And for people to say there, like rather than if it's not there, we ain't got it. I know that.
Well, and it was very Portuguese. It wasn't like, oh, it's over there. They're like, here, let's go to it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And
so, Phil, you're quite new to the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. It's great to have you here. Thank you for being bold and brave and coming up with this rather lovely-looking label, certainly, and an Alan Tejo wine, which I think Neil will approve of, which we'll be tasting this evening. Okay. Have you got it this evening, Neil? Do you have it yourself?
Yeah, I didn't have to go out and buy it. I already had one at home.
Check you out.
But this is 2019. I think the one you had is 2020 because I probably had this for a year or so.
Okay, fabulous. Penny, you haven't been able to get this. You're drinking Prosecco, which is absolutely right. It is in your DNA, isn't it, Prosecco?
Yes, an epic fail on the wine front. But
no, not at all. No, it's the hardest for you to do. And it was fairly short notice, which is not like us at all in the wine club, is it? But there you go.
She just wanted to open a bottle of bubbles.
Yes. And
the excuse.
In the green room, I see Leona and Doc. Now, Doc looks like he's got a duvet over him. And every now and then the duvet is going up and down. Can you give me a thumbs up if it's safe to come to you two? Yes, thumbs up. Good evening to you both. What is going on there?
Now, Carl, you should know it's never safe to come to us. Hi, Neil. Hi, Penny. It's good to see you. Who else is that? Sorry, we're on the phone tonight because homework demands the use of the computer by the stepdaughter. So I can hardly see you, and I've got one eye on the Brazilian slugfest as well. But there we are.
Doc can't see us already, and we're only 6 minutes past 8.
But we do have the wine.
Oh, bless you, bless you.
2020. Yeah. So in fact, we got 2 bottles for €12.
How cool
in
is
Intermarché.
Really, that's a good deal, isn't it? I think this one is priced. I'll let Phil give you all the detail on this, but it is priced at around €5 or €6, isn't it? Wherever you tend to find it in Portugal. Yeah. So thank you, Leona and Doc, for being here as well. Others, I'm sure, will drift in. How is the football going, Doc? Can we have a match report?
Yeah. Korea haven't turned up yet. Brazil have got 4 goals as a result. No, that was nearly 5.
Right.
I think they're in for an 8-0 victory at this rate.
Really. So in a way, it's a little bit boring, but nice to be having in the corner and seeing a dash of Brazilian excellence every now and then.
Some great flair in the goals. I mean, really good, really good. Oh, South Korean got one there.
Okay, Doc, please feel free to interject whenever Brazil put one in the back of the net, won't you?
Thanks for the permission. I'm always very very reticent at interjecting, as you know.
Yes, so unlike
We
you.
thought you were interjecting before you came on screen, actually, by the sound of
I
things.
thought I'd let you finish. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, sorry, Phil, over to you. What on earth possessed you, man, to choose this particular wine?
Actually, the wine, well, because I like it a lot. And I discovered it. My sister-in-law actually recommended it to us, and then we were in the UK for Thanksgiving, kind of US Thanksgiving, and she was able to find it in the UK even.
Wow,
which was good because we had our first experience with an EasyJet, which my brother-in-law calls Sleazy Jet.
Yeah,
and of course you would never be able to bring those, bring our stash of wine over for them. So on Sleazy Jet, or we wouldn't be able to wear any clothes while we were flying or whatever.
You're hoping so.
Whatever combination there, you know.
Ryanair is worse.
Yes, true.
Yes, there's Sleazy, and then there's Ryanair. Yes.
I told you a story, Phil, didn't I, about Ryanair the other day? I don't know if I can repeat that. Maybe after a couple of glasses of this, I will repeat that.
So yes, so I've enjoyed it, and I'm not much of a. This has all the oak flavors and the bubble gum, you know, and the
yeah.
So it drinks well, and the price is for Portuguese. Some Portuguese wine is even more price appropriate. I don't know. Better value than this, but it's pretty good, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like the balance.
Do you know anything about the producer? Are you one of those wine ninjas that does the whole presentation, or do you just want to open it, pour it, and drink it?
No, I open it and drink it pretty much. I did because my sister-in-law was interested. We actually did a little research about where to go and find them, but we never went down. So I don't know that much about them.
I think Neil might be able to help us out a little bit. This is
Yeah,
from
they're
your
down.
territory, isn't it?
They're in Reguengos, which is probably the largest wine producing part of the Alentejo. In it's sort of east Alentejo, and it's probably just snuck under the border of Baixo Alentejo. As you're going towards Reguengos to Monserrate, go through Reguengos, and then there's a small village. They're called I can't remember what the village is called, but their Herdade is just there. I actually tasted some of their wine a couple of weeks ago, funny enough, at a tasting. But I've had this before. But so it's an Alentejo wine. It's a typical grapes that the Alentejo produce and love to put in as a blend. And it's the Aragonese, the Alicante Boucher, and the Big Touriga Nacional. So it's like 3 grapes that are used extremely often in blending Alentejo wine.
Thanks, Neil. That's really great. And pay attention, because some of those names and phrases used there by Neil will come up in the quiz that we'll do tonight as well. So we'll have a little bit of a tasting, and then we'll do the quiz, which should get more and more fun as we proceed.
That'd be amusing.
Yeah, shouldn't it? I think you're a bit competitive, Doc. I think you're going to like my quiz that I've done tonight. You are a bit competitive, aren't you, on the QT? Or not?
Occasionally.
Yeah. Okay, let's say hello a few good evenings before Phil pours and gives us the first impression tonight of the wine. I know what you mean, Phil, about the pretentiousness of some wine tastings. Me and Mrs. M were having a bit of a giggle this afternoon. We heard one description as cigar box aromas. If you can pick that out, you got a pretty keen nose, haven't you?
Better than cricket box aromas, I guess.
Cricket box. Classic.
Excellent.
Penny,
Yes.
I just want to know, when did you last sniff a cricket box?
Yeah.
Or It was in my youth. In my youth.
Okay, all right.
Too long ago, eh?
Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously,
I just
still
got-
remembers.
My face looks like a cricket ball now because of that comment, Penny. Right. Botard Vinhos from Ubi. Ubi's with us tonight. Nubionet is here as well. Hola. Oh, the footy's too good. So quite a few people, I think, multitasking with a bit of football. And if they're watching on a moody Twitter feed, they might prefer our commentary to the. I mean, you can get some right old commentaries on Twitter, can't you? That are being streamed on there. Not that I approve or endorse that in any way. I'm happy to be here, tuning in for my first wine club Monday. Very welcome. Oh, who are you? Facebook user. Let us know who you are. Yes, I was just cleansing my palate with a super bock. I was very thirsty, and I just needed that before I started on the wine. And I've
We did that for lunch.
Oh, did you? Well done. You see, that's how we roll here. Multitasking today. John and Pam watching Brazil murder South Korea whilst watching you. Winos, we resent that. We don't deny it, but we do resent it. Cheers, all. I refuse to pay $20 for a bottle of Portuguese wine here in Canada. What have you got then, Suze? Let us know. Evening Carl from Peggy. Thank you so much for your... It's Prosecco Peggy in good company with Penny tonight. So Prosecco Penny and Prosecco Peggy here tonight. And would you agree with this, Doc? Richarlison's goal was an absolute masterpiece.
It was. It's superb. Absolutely superb.
All right. What you got, Peggy? Not Prosecco. She's not Prosecco. She's fizzy Peggy tonight of some sort. Maybe she's on some really expensive stuff. Ubi has been to Regranguas de Monserrate. I was there, and mostly I was at the old Castelo Monserrate. Would you do you recognise that place? And have you been there too, Neil?
Yeah, so the Castelo Monserrate is somewhere anyone in Portugal goes to the Alentejo has to visit. It's probably got one of the best views of any area in the whole of Portugal, not just because it's from the Alentejo. It looks completely over the huge dam, the Alcava Dam, and the views are just absolutely spectacular. They really are. So if you're down that way, definitely go up to the castle. And they've got some great little restaurants up there with amazing views.
Oh, sounds wonderful. Stick it on the list. My first favorite place in Portugal, and that's what happens, of course, is you get your favorites and you go somewhere else, you get another favorite, where I fancied myself restoring one of the old chapels whilst communing with Templar ghosts. That sounds good. Yeah, film rights to that would be good, I'm sure, with Ubi in control there. It's 1 p.m, still on my espresso, fair enough, but Portuguese style one, have a little half a glass, Suze. And that was before I drank the vinhos, it says Ubi there. Right, I think we should charge our glasses because we also have a very special birthday to celebrate. Parabéns a você, Linda, Gary.
Parabéns, Linda.
Happy birthday.
Guys.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Are you actually in Iceland tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Can you pick us up some of those frozen chicken breasts? They're really good value.
That was my joke. 50 sausage rolls for £1. You can't beat it, can you? Right. What's it like, Gary and Linda? The Austins live from
Is it
Iceland.
all frozen or is it just me?
It's I'll let you do it for your day.
It's cold, but and sunny. We've had a lovely day today. We went on a tour,
Yes, we've been probing the depths of the Golden Circle.
the Golden Circle, and it was fabulous. Really fabulous.
Marvelous. Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. What a lovely trip. Happy birthday to you, Linda. So are you joining us? Have you got a glass of wine with you there?
Well, it's not wine. I've got some. We'll have to do. It's Icelandic rum, which is very nice, actually.
Icelandic pink gin.
Very nice. Sorry, what have you got, Linda? The same rum or something else?
Icelandic pink gin.
Oh, good for you. Excellent. The party is getting going here. Fabulous.
Well,
Okay, over to you. Oh, sorry,
Sorry, we're just waiting to go into dinner, so we might have to dash off any moment.
enough.
So we just
all right, let's get on with it, Phil. Let's get on with it so we can wish and drink to Linda's birthday here.
Okay.
Over
Get
to
on
you.
with drinking, or what would you like? Want me to sniff it and tell you what was it?
Yeah.
A cricket ball.
It smells like a cricket ball.
No, a cricket ball.
Yeah, I smell lots of cricket balls and I can't detect that.
Oh, it's that leathery smell, definitely.
Yeah, it's not cricket balls.
There's a little bit of it.
Cricket balls are leathery.
I know, but it's not cricket balls. No.
So your first impressions, Phil, as the chooser of this wine, if you don't mind.
My first impressions are
Half an hour ago.
half an hour ago. Yes. Yeah, it was really good a half an hour ago.
Very even leather.
Not too much leather. Yes.
I'm getting imperial.
I don't have. I mean, as I said earlier, I'm not that much of a word guy for these things, and when I do, I'm like, oh, well, you know, I get. Go to those tastings. At least in the States, they did those tastings where they would throw out all those great words. I'd be like, yeah, I can smell that now. Yeah. But it smells. It's
Like wine.
yeah, like wine. Pretty tasty. Got a good nose on it. I think that's one of those phrases you can use with anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Okay, well, should we just get on with wishing Linda a very happy birthday then, shall we? So, to Linda, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Guys for joining us.
Thank you, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers. Linda and Gary, just quick, what sort of food has been on the menu there while you've been there?
We had fish and chips the first night, which was delicious.
Bacalao.
Like English fish
No,
and chips?
no.
Pickled fish and...
Proper fish.
Probably some of the nicest fish and chips I've ever had.
Yeah, it was
Really
really
beautiful.
lovely.
We had a beautiful root soup, didn't we? Vegetable root soup, root vegetable soup even.
Parsnip soup.
Parsnip soup, yeah. Yesterday I had a seafood soup, and it's a vegetarian. I had a vegetarian, like in a phyllo pastry, and that was beautiful.
Wow.
Moroccan stew, which was
You need
good.
to stop eating vegetarians, Gary.
Did you have a reindeer steak?
If that's what vegetarian food can taste like, then I probably would never eat meat, to be honest, because that was fabulous.
Interesting.
So you're eating vegetarians? Is that what it is?
No, not necessarily. It just looked good. It was just.
Oh, Linda loves a
The
bit of
Moroccan
meat.
stew was lovely. Very, very tasty.
We're gonna blow all that tonight. We're gonna go for some lamb, I think, because Icelandic lamb is supposed to be very good. So.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent stuff.
And you
We
saw
got
the
I'm a bit worried, Carl, because your cheeks look very rosy. Have you been on the wine all afternoon or something, or what?
No, not at all. I had a super bock. I'm a lightweight, you know that. I had a super bock, and now I'm drinking red wine. It's all. Oh, and then when Penny started talking about the aromas of a cricket box, I just got completely flushed, and that was it.
Not going away.
Definitely. Suze has a question for you. Look, how long are the Austins in Iceland? My friend Lee, owner of this house, will be in Iceland on Friday for a few days on her way to England. It was originally booked to come and see me in Finland. Oh, I see. So you're not a million miles away from Finland as well. How long are you going to be there, guys? And how you're obviously enjoying yourselves, having a fantastic summer. You've seen the Aurora Borealis, haven't you?
Twice. Last night and the night before.
And I'm hoping tonight as well because it's clear skies. So
Wow.
Wonderful.
fingers crossed.
And how many layers? How many layers do you have to wear to go outside and watch that?
A lot.
A lot. Yeah, it's pretty nippy out there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, amazing.
We've got one more day, and unfortunately, we're leaving on the 7th,
All right.
whichever day that is. Wednesday, is it?
I don't know what day it is.
Wednesday, I think.
I'm going to click there.
Brilliant. All right. Well, thank you. It's really good of you to join us tonight and remember us while you're over there in a fantastic time. Have a really lovely time, Linda. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See
We're
you.
going to the Blue Lagoon tomorrow.
Are you? Are you going to swim in it like those two teenagers did in that movie?
What was her name?
It's a different Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, we know.
Shields and who's the other one?
I imagine it would quite shrivel you up. I imagine that a Blue Lagoon in Iceland.
It's supposed to do the opposite. It's supposed to reinvigorate you, and you come out looking like no.
Really?
Yeah.
How much does it cost to get there? That sounds like
€6,500.
sounds like it's worth it, though, right?
Well, yeah. To be honest, I walked down there today because it's just maybe a mile away from where we're stopping. And when you're decorating and you've washed your brushes out in the water, It looks like that.
A euphemism, or is this what do you mean?
That's a fairly accurate sort of representation of what it looks like. It's slightly milky coloured.
Milky, yeah, I've seen that in the photos.
Right.
But we'll give it a go. We'll give
Yeah,
it
do you
a
have
go.
to is it like Portugal where you have to wear a swimming cap and speedos, or you're allowed to wear whatever you like in there?
Well, with that temperature out there, I'm going to wear one of those all-in-ones up to there with the stripes on.
1900s.
A dry suit.
Mankini.
Yeah, that's what you need, a dry suit. But it won't help the dry suit. That would probably shred it.
But it looks good. It's steaming like in a bath, so hopefully it'll be okay.
This is an opportunity for the gold mankini to make its appearance.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did lend it to you, Gary. I lent it to you, remember? So we want a photo. Sorry, if I ruined the surprise for Linda.
Shriveled parcels in gold mankinis is not really good.
Look, we've got extra celebrations tonight. John and Pam, this is great news.
Yeah.
And I got another message from friends also who got their D7 today. I think Seth have been busy, haven't they? A little surge before Christmas, maybe. So congratulations, anyone who's had their visa approval today for coming to. That's fantastic news. Well done, John. And Pam, looking forward to talking to you tomorrow night. John, that's fantastic news. Brilliant. Should we get on with the quiz?
On that note, quickly, I'm looking at getting citizenship. Got the paperwork ready, and they said, "Okay, when you put it in," I said, "How long are we expecting to wait?" I said, "Oh, probably not 2.5 years."
Yep, that's the way.
2.5 years.
Yep.
Once they've accepted everything.
So that's you've been here 5 years, and then you put the application in. So you're basically 7 years before you're actually a citizen. Is that the story? Or?
Yeah. They really don't want your tax receipts, do they?
Well, it'll be just in time for the next election, Neil, when you can exercise your all-important votes. I think excellent stuff. Okay. Actually, yeah, before the quiz, let's have a little bit more feedback on this. It does mean fallen angels, doesn't it? Trinca Bolotas, is that right? No one cares, do they? Nobody cares. It's just red wine. Let's drink it.
It's very nice.
It's very nice. We leave it at that.
We've had this one before. I recognise this one. It wasn't too bad. It's sort of a mid-range, nice, acceptable wine.
And a very recognisable label. They've really done a good job with that, haven't they? You can remember having that, can't you? And choose.
Leona's favourite animal.
Is that right? Okay.
I hate them.
Oh.
I hate them with a passion.
Seriously?
What pig? You don't like pigs?
Why?
Yeah. Because they're just vile.
Okay.
What's there to like about a pig?
They taste good.
Right.
And the Lord did say that pigs are wild.
And plus, I watched a film about a pig and an MP. I don't know if anybody else has seen it.
Yeah.
And it's
Not that one. No.
Not that.
Oh, God. I just can't unsee it.
No.
Have you not watched Babe?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's a palate cleanser, isn't it?
It's a lovely movie.
That's a pork palate cleanser.
Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, another good pig.
Going back even further.
I don't like pigs. No, I'm never going to like them.
Pigs and spiders.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to change your mind on this, are we? I don't think.
No.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Neil.
Sorry.
Neil, what's that? Pigs in what?
Spiders. Charlotte's Web. You must know Charlotte's Web, the story.
Mm.
Spider in the farmyard befriended by a pig.
Yeah.
I love it, but I can't bring it to mind. It's my
Probably before your time because you're a lot younger than me.
Children's.
Be white, I believe it was.
Yeah, I've forgotten how much younger I am. Yeah.
It sounds like a hallucination you might get from sniffing a cricket box, doesn't it? Because a pig that starts a friendship with a spider. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but the spider dies in the end, and it's sad, so don't watch it.
Oh no! Spoiler!
A bit like Watership Down.
Yeah.
All those happy films. Okay, all right. Can we do a Portuguese wine? Look at these graphics, everybody.
Black grapes.
No, that's not the first. Not the first question, Neil. What are they?
That's
Full
okay.
marks.
Right.
Full
Where
marks.
are we? Who are we?
Oh, Mark.
Okay. All right. The milky colour is due to the dissolved silica in the water, and nothing more ominous than that, Gary. You'll feel it.
Yeah.
You'll feel it between your toes. It's like just like going down the municipal swimming pool back in the day in Brum, eh? You'll feel it between
Yes.
your toes.
Yeah.
It is
Feel it in your fingers.
Yes, but the
Feel it
municipal
in your toes.
pool in Birmingham used to have other added ingredients floating around.
free plasters. You never had to buy your own plasters, did you? Because you could pick one up down at the pool. It is supposed to be marvelous as a face cream. That's what they all say, isn't it? That's what they all say, isn't it, Penny?
Yeah.
Protein in it.
Congrats, Jonathan Bam. Pigs are one of the most intelligent, compassionate, and tastiest critters on the planet. Yeah, Leona. All right. Okay.
I thought you said figs.
Figs, yes.
Hold on a minute. Let's just check.
Interacting with the football.
Oh dear.
Intelligent pigs.
How much of that wine did you add? Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's only our third bottle.
You've been on purposes this whole time.
No, the first one was definitely.
No,
figs.
we do like figs.
Okay.
Oh, Carrera trying to score. Oh dear, never mind.
Oh well. Okay. Is it okay to do the quiz now?
Go on then.
Yeah,
Let's do the quiz.
you can.
Question number one, and this you could watch the World Cup and do the quiz as well. No prizes tonight. Not a free trip to Iceland or anything like that. Just fun. Which,
Give me the answer already.
yeah, no shouting out, please. Which
We have to because we haven't got a pen and paper, so we have to.
what's
How
this?
are we doing, Carl? Shouting it out or not shouting it out?
No. I wouldn't. I'll go through them again in about 3 hours' time. By the time we've got to the end of the quiz. just like one of those. So just get comfortable and get a duvet like Doc had.
No
earlier.
googling.
All right, no googling, absolutely. Which of these famous people has not been associated with Portugal's world famous Matias Rosé? Is it A, Jimi Hendrix? Is it B, Frank Sinatra? Is it C, Queen Elizabeth II? Or is it D, Saddam Hussein? I guess we could talk around this. Has anybody got anything they want to
I
add?
reckon it's Saddam.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't know.
Well, Saddam Hussein's the obvious one, but because it's the obvious one, it's probably not him.
Jimi
Yeah.
Hendrix would drink anything.
I
but he's
know.
probably not it.
I know.
I think
I
it's
know.
Frank Sinatra.
It's
I think
the
you're
one
right.
Yeah,
when we
Frank
actually-
Sinatra.
Yeah,
All
Frank
right.
Sinatra. Yeah.
All right, so I'll come back and all will be revealed later on. Hussein, to call him a pig would be. Oh my goodness, Ubi, easy. He's dead and
It's all right,
gone.
he's not going to sue you now.
That's true. Pigs and figs. When does this dinner party start? Okay, let's move on to the next question. How many native grape varieties is Portugal thought to have? Is it 28 and a half? Is it B, too many to enjoy in one lifetime? Is it C, 285? Is it D, 2,850? And I think Neil the answer.
285.
Anyone
Yeah.
else? Any other
Yeah.
guesses?
Yeah,
I think
it's a
285.
Okay.
That's what my mate Lewis Pato said anyway.
Oh, here we go. Quick first
Yeah, there we
name
go.
drop of the evening. Yeah, okay. Matias Rosé had a horrible reputation. Benjamin, good evening to you tonight. And D, 2,850 grape varieties. The clue here is native. Okay, you might be right, Benjamin, with that upper figure, but let's focus on native grape varieties. Okay, and guessing Hendrix could guess their clues. Thank you for that. Is everybody all right? Is somebody choking, or are we okay now? You're okay, Phil. Okay.
I'm doing it.
Tempranillo is the grape variety known to make red wine. What?
Grown to make, not known.
Oh, dear.
May I continue? What is its name in Portugal? Is it A, Rio Tinto Zinc? Is it B, Tintin? Is it C, Tintonet? Or D, Tintororiche?
Tintororiche, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be that one. And I wrote the quiz. Okay, very good. The world's first demarcated wine region, created in 1756, is in Portugal.
All right.
But where is it? Let's go from the bottom up. Is it D in Benfica, where they have built a football ground now? Is it C, the Alentejo? Neil would know this or not. B, no one can remember because they drunk so much wine here in Portugal. Or is it A, the Douro? Douro.
I think it's
Douro.
Douro was the first wine region in Portugal, really. The
Yeah.
first proper wine region in Portugal was the north.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
could be wrong.
I
Could be
don't know
wrong,
which-
but the Alentejo producers is the biggest.
Yeah. That's good. You haven't ruined one of my questions there, Neil. No problem. But that's worth noting, isn't it? And hello,
Question number
an Oregon wino. Okay, thank you for owning that, OLP. And Duru says OLP, who's in on that. It's a good guess, a very good guess. And we'll confirm all the answers a little bit later on after we've had some glasses of wine. And we can't remember the first time we went through it. Which of these terms or abbreviations is not a Portuguese wine quality classification? A, DOC. Oh, Mrs. M is here as well. Am I going to put you on camera? Really come in for wine. How about that?
Which one do you reckon it is, Doc?
Gary and Linda are here from Iceland tonight.
Happy birthday, Linda.
It's not.
Hi.
Put your headphones on.
Okay, so.
Okay, no. So A, is it the DOC? We know that is a quality classification, don't we? We can see that on the bottles we've got in front of us tonight. B, Vinho Regional. C, Pão Pão Queijo Queijo. Or D, Vinho, table wine. What do we think?
Let me see.
Very good, very good. Can't wait to sip some wine in Portugal, says the OLP. And let's move on to the next question now. Number 6, I think this is. Portugal has approximately 92,000 kilometers of land. How much of this is thought to be vineyards? Kilometers squared of land. Thank you very much. Is it A, 224,000 hectares? Is it B, 100 hectares on tax returns? C, every effort to find out has been thwarted by wine tasting. And D, what is a hectare?
Yeah, it's definitely 100 hectares for tax purposes.
That's true. That's what your mate Luis Pato says there, Doc.
Yeah, well, he said he only owns 20 of them.
Yes, of course he does. And Andy, who's his next door neighbour, by Andy, lives next door to him. We'll be able to doubt that, I think. So does anyone actually know what a hectare is? In terms of football pitches? Oh, Phil, thank you.
No, I can't do football pictures, but it's. I believe it's. Oh, I have it in the. No, I can't.
You can't do it.
No, I think it's
Good effort.
10,000 square meters. Is that right?
But what about in terms of Olympic swimming pools or football pitches or I don't know?
Postage stamps.
Well, if you spread out all the water in the Olympic swimming pool, it's about the same size.
How many hectares is Pete Bleach's solar array? That would give us a sense of it, wouldn't it?
About 30.
Well, one of the things I love about this quiz question is that the question and all the answers have different units. It's really awesome.
Are you talking about my quiz? Or are you talking about a vineyard?
A hectare's like two and a bit acres, isn't it?
How
much is an acre?
I think of it a little less than 3 acres.
That doesn't help.
Okay, 2.5 acres to a hectare. Thank you very much, Ubi, for that. And both
How much is an acre?
All right, Neil. Thank you.
There's a couple swimming pools. I mean,
That's so helpful. Thank you very much. And I don't know if that is the question. If you want to make an answer, you might want to put which question it is as well, because that'll help.
I think all the answers are right.
How many
Guys.
glasses have you had?
oh, sounds like a
Hold on, they're going
We've
off for dinner.
got to duck out now. We've got to go for
Happy
dinner.
birthday.
Bye.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Super time.
Enjoy eating vegetarians.
That's interesting, isn't it? Like you could write a song about it. They went to Iceland as carnivores and came back as vegetarians.
What?
It's yes, it
Is
may.
that what's happened?
It is. That is what's happening as we speak.
They're
Yeah.
turning.
They're turning. They'll hate pigs. They'll hate pigs just like Leona does by the time they've come back. An acre is around 42,000 square feet. So that's just. What was the last question? If we do them, if someone could do the maths.
South Korea have found the goal.
Really? Have they
Yeah.
scored?
Yeah.
Got a consolation goal. So what's
Yeah.
What is the
4-1.
total score?
4-1.
4-1 to Brazil. So no, not many problems for Brazil. Then how long to go in that match?
10 minutes.
Okay, I think Korea are going home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Right,
Well, they're
apparently-
expecting one of them.
Do you know what? Anything can happen. They've got 10 minutes.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
only takes a second to score a goal, as Brian Clough said.
Yes, and when at the end, can you say they think it's all over? It is now, Doc. When the time comes.
Okay.
It's all over now.
Which grape? Oh, hold on. We've got some housekeeping to do on the last one here, which is really helpful. An acre is around 42,000 square feet. So my input may be close to useless for yours with your fancy mentor. Get used to it. It's the future, Ubi. And
Along
older than
along with the
70.
useless comments, apparently a hectare is 2.47 acres.
Yeah.
That makes all the
10,000
difference.
Yes, I
10,000
think.
square meters.
Yeah, they were close.
Yeah.
No,
All this goes to
10,000
show.
square meters.
They should.
All this goes to show that all 4 answers are correct.
No, Doc. That is,
Okay.
as you'll see, that is not
10,000
the
square
case.
meters to a hectare, isn't it?
We would like
10,000 square meters is a hectare.
Yeah.
All right.
Neil,
I
is
think-
that about the size of your
Yeah,
backyard?
10,000 square meters. I actually was
Ours
right.
is just under 3 hectares, so I know because it's 2.98. So, yeah,
That's not to mention his wine cellar, which is a couple of hectares to add to that as well.
It's
My
simple.
answers go to any question. That is not allowed either. About 10,000 square meters. 10,000 meters squared. How much is an acre? OLP, are you watching this on catch up? Right, okay. Right. Let's move on.
Too distracted by the Koreans making a goal.
I think so. Now, where was 1756 mentioned? Oh, that was
There.
ages ago. That was
Yeah.
Your
All right.
questions, Carl.
I know, but there's a lot of information here, Penny. You say that, but there's a hell of a lot of information. Which is grape is thought? Okay, typo. Which grape is thought to produce the most, and some say finest wines in Portuguese wine production? Is it A, Happy Mondays members who became black grape? They retired to Portugal. Touriga Nacional, the Barga grape, a favourite of Doc's mate Luis Pato, or again Benfica grapes?
Touriga Nacional.
Gotta be
Touriga
B.
Nacional, see.
Yeah, it's an
Is
educated
it really?
guess.
No.
Yeah, and for the next time I use this quiz, I'm going to have to change that cut and paste D answer because I already used that elsewhere. Just note to self there. Okay. Oh, Brits, you're at an advantage here. And I think Doc will be especially at an advantage because I can see him in a dinner jacket from time to time, observing this tradition. In the British tradition of serving port, which way should the bottle or decanter be passed around the table? And this probably happened in the film that Leona mentioned earlier on. To the right, A, B, under the table, C, to the left. Pass the decanter around the left-hand side. That is from Birmingham, isn't it? And D,
Yeah.
via the Bishop of Norwich. And I think Doc will be able to tie all of these together because you know the answer to this, don't you, Doc?
I do, and I know it not because I remember, because I was never in any state by the time the port was served to remember anything. But I do happen to know that it's to the left.
Okay.
To the left.
That's the posh way of saying it, to the left.
Oh, well, I'm a Brummy, so.
I know you can't talk posh.
Left, yes, Doc.
What's that?
Sorry,
Everything should be to the left.
everything should be passed to the left. Absolutely.
Is that a socialist sort of maxim?
Yeah.
I see. As a political, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
That's it.
Political jokes tonight as well. Very good. And yeah,
Sorry, Neil.
What is the Bishop of Norwich thing, though, Doc?
Oh, wasn't it a Monty Python sketch?
It probably was, but
There's another dead bishop on the landing. Oh, yes, that's the Bishop of Norwich. Something like that.
very good. Okay, I will come back to the origins.
There's a nautical term as well for using port to remember your port and your starboard and your navigation lights, the green and the red. And
Yes,
that was
Neil. Yes,
That's true, yeah.
There's no red port left, which gives you the port is the red light to the left.
Uh-huh.
That's
What happened
right.
to White Port?
If what?
You
Problem.
just get drunk and you're still no wiser.
Terrible hangovers as well, right, from port. Does Posh?
Oh, no, it's lovely.
a Kiwi accent. If you're Australian, it might do, mightn't it? Because when you drink, you start leaning to the left. Yes, although is that right? Does that vary though from people?
Lean to the left or hang to the left?
Yes, exactly. I was thinking that, Neil.
Dress to the left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take your dress.
Yes. Have you had your inside leg measured recently, Neil? Do you still have that done?
Inside.
The inside leg. It's a British tradition, not unlike passing the port.
No, I don't get measured anymore for shorts, and that's all I wear.
Anymore, you say?
I just let it hang, whichever leg it decides to drop down.
To the left or the right, though? Okay, you don't have to answer that. You have to pass it. Yes, you do, Suze. For reasons we will return to.
The important thing is you're not allowed to put it down on the table, and the original decanters had round bottoms, so you couldn't put it down.
Don't all the best things in life have round bottoms, Doc?
Absolutely.
Oh yes, thank you very much. We didn't set that up before, did we? Didn't work on that before. Okay, here we go. Question number 10. Did I do question 9? Yes, that was the port question. Question number 10. W&J Graham's Oubli Tawny Port, with a critics rating of 100 out of 100, sells for an average price of what? 74 and 9 centimes. 740 euros. 749 at Aldi on special offer.
Have you got a year? Have you got a year?
7. Oh, you want the year?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's important.
That could easily be 7,500.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Thank you very much for spoiling the answer there. But you're right. You're right. You're right. One theory was to keep your sword arm free.
That was for stairs. That's why stairs went round in a certain way.
Yeah, that's right. And there was a famous aristocratic family who were left-handed, who had their castles made with the staircases the opposite direction.
You learn so much at the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club, everybody. That's fantastic. We love that sort of information. Why didn't we do quizzes before? Question 11.
Oh, was that another goal?
The answer was, what year is it?
Is that a goal?
No. They were just showing the last one.
All right. In the years when this was measured from the statistics office, I suspect, Portugal, this is the years 2018 to 19, Portugal was ranked where among the world's largest wine exporting nations? Was it 9th, A? Was it B, 19th? Was it C, Portugal would rather not say and keep it a secret, as they often do with their wines, or 99th? What do we think, panel?
Well, A or C.
Exporting is different to drinking because they were the top drinkers, but exporting.
Yeah. So what's left over? That's the thing. It's either 9 or 19 because what's left over?
More now than they ever used to.
But this is 3 years ago. Yeah, it's A or C.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'd like it to stay C.
Could well be A. Could well be A.
All right. Okay. This is. I like the historical context of this one. Small cooperatives produced wine mainly for domestic consumption under the Salazar regime. What changed this? Was it A, a critical mass of American D7 visas? Was it B, when Portugal joined the European Union in 1986? Was it C, the English occupation of the Algarve? Or was it D, Jimi Hendrix seen drinking Matthias Rosé in the mainstream media? What do you think?
It's B.
Got to be in it.
Yeah, but it could have been any of those, of course. But it was B.
The end of the Salazar's regime, yeah.
So true. Now, I hesitate to say this. What possible good could come from the Salazar regime? But it is true to say, isn't it, that because of the approach Salazar and the dictatorship took to wine production, it made Portuguese wine that we love and are drinking now this evening. It made it the way it is to this day, isn't it? I mean, it is part of the evolution history and story.
It is. It is.
Wine, no question about that. So we're sort of a begrudging thanks almost.
A begrudging nod in his direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not willing to pay more than €5, says Suze. Too many good wines under 5 in Portugal. Yeah, and when you have got used to buying Portuguese wine, it does feel painful, doesn't it, to buy wine at very expensive prices. Well said, Suze. Okay, the Portuguese town of Boticas buried its wine stock, fearing the invasion of which European invader? Was it A, Napoleon Bonaparte? Was it B, General Franco? Was it C, Silvio Berlusconi? Or D, the Romans? Who do we think?
It's Boney.
Hey.
Oh, not that one. Okay. The other,
Boney.
not that one.
It was Bowling. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you might be right. We'll find out. Only 6 more questions to go, everybody. Is everyone losing the will to live yet? Or should we...
Yeah, I am.
No.
That's so honest, Leona. Thank you for that.
I'm so easily distracted.
She's so bored with the quiz, she's watching the football.
Whoa, that's serious.
I might
Yeah,
as well be
there's
honest.
only another 900 questions to go, darling.
Oh,
Oh, look.
get my sleeping bag.
OLP must have joined the party late. He's just asking about the wine.
He's so
Yes,
welcome.
we have featured a wine this evening. Phil chose it. Phil, would you mind holding your probably empty bottle up to the screen? There you go.
Where's the camera? Oh, there's the camera. Oh, it's only got one light on it. There it is.
There it is.
Yeah,
Okay. Very
it's,
good.
it's a nice little cheeky little number.
It is. And it's the perfect way to keep warm in the winter of 2022, as Phil is modelling there. Just one light and a bottle of wine is the way to deal with the 2022. All right. Although verde in Portuguese means green, what does vinho verde actually mean? A, is it the colour you go after too many glasses? Is it B, young wine? Is it C, a reference to the green landscape of the Minho? Or D, it's the envy of many winemakers worldwide?
D for sure.
Good for
It's
me.
B.
Young.
Yeah, but some think it's C. We will come to a definitive
They
report
call
on
me
that.
Penny Verde.
Is that right? Hey, what, over here in Portugal? They should do. That's what I'm going to call you when I see
Is
you
that
here.
because after a few glasses you go a bit green?
Yeah, that's what-
Can't wait to experience that with you here, Penny. Where in the world's listings of countries with the most vineyards does Portugal sit? To the left of Spain, A, B at the captain's table, C 8th, or D next to the port? See what I did there?
Yeah, definitely so.
Oh. With reference back, it's going to be C.
Yeah.
Left of Spain.
Maybe. Okay, France
left
has
of
its
Spain.
champagne. Spain has cava. Italy has prosecco. What is Portugal's is equivalent? Is it A, bourboulante? Is it B, boublement? Is it C, mouton frisant? Or is it D, espumante?
Espumante.
Gotta
Yeah,
be D.
very, very certain. It could be all the others, couldn't it? Cercial, Verdelho, Bual, and Malvasia. White grapes. Malvasia sounds like a medical condition, doesn't it? Is it a medical condition?
It
Doc?
is. Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
What is it? A straining of the groin or something? That's what it sounds like.
I can't tell you in polite company. And
Okay,
as there is at least one polite member of polite company here, then I won't tell you.
all right, fair enough. Muito frisão to the last question, says OLP. Speaking of Napoleon, says Ubi, I only recently learned a lot of the details of the Peninsular War beyond what I picked up from watching Sharp's Adventures. Thank you very much. Hello, B. Young from Honeymoon Always. Lovely to have you here. And keep it a secret. Yes, absolutely. New Green, thank you for that, John and Pam. New Green, Vinho Verde, and I'm late to this party. Not a problem. Vinho Verde means young wine. Thank you. Sorry for leaving you behind in the chat there. Thank you very much indeed. Hold on, somebody sent me a private chat. Thank you, Phil. Nothing serious there. Sometimes in the private chat, you can get a very worrying message. Nothing like that tonight. Okay. Those grapes, white grapes, are used in the production of which Portuguese fortified wine? Is it A, Madeira? Is it B, Victoria? Is it C, Battenberg? Or is it D, Bola de Arroz?
Madeira.
It is the intersection of wines and baking here in Portugal. I think you might be right, Doc. How many top-level Portuguese wine regions, DOCs, Denominação de Origem Controladas, are there? More than 100? A, B, none, C, 3, or D, 26, folks?
It must be 26. It's definitely more than 3.
Yeah.
And it's not more than 100.
Okay, another educated
that.
guess from the doc
I'll
there.
go
Well
with
done, both of you. Okay, which of these popular singers has a vineyard winery in Portugal? Is it A, Keith Richards? Is it B, Madonna? C, Cliff Richard? Or D, Elvis? Because he might still be here.
Everybody knows.
Well-aged wine from Elvis, right?
Clifford.
Definitely.
Clifford.
Is it?
What's his real name? Harry something or other, isn't it? Okay.
Oh,
Which
Harry
is
Styles.
penultimate?
Oh yeah.
Really? Keith Richards, says OLP. Vinho Verde. Okay, which of these Portuguese words is not associated with winemaking? And I love the Portuguese vocabulary around winemaking. Is it A, Herdade? Is it B, Adega? Is it C, Quinta? Or is it D, Centro de Sal de Lapa?
Centro de Sal de Lapa.
Do you know what that means, Doc?
The health centre of Lapa, wherever Lapa is.
It is Portuguese for clap clinic, I'll have you know.
Oh, is it? Ah, well, you had to know, and I haven't.
I had to look it up. To be fair. Now, that may not translate around the world. Some call it STD, some call it gum, don't they? Genital urine.
Lapa and Clapper quite close, aren't they?
Lapa and Clapper,
Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure of the origins of that. And of course,
Portuguese,
And a special clinic.
ESL, not STD.
So is it feminine then, Lapa?
hold on a minute, Phil's got some important information. Phil, what was that?
Is it CSL in Portuguese as opposed to STD?
Asking for a friend. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know.
You have to look it up, Carl, when you got the rash.
I looked it up for the purposes of this quiz. The rash was something
yeah.
entirely. When I said, "Can I send you some pictures of my rash, Penny?" You made the right decision. Thank you for your help with that matter. Okay, final question: who doesn't like a juicy red box of an evening? I know I do. Which of these is not a Portuguese brand of boxed wine? Ooh. Okay. I just would have liked to have seen Gary's face with this question. Is it A, Sopiache? Is it B, Sopiashed? Is it B, Ora de Mont? Or is it D, Val de Bura?
The BB.
So piased.
So piased. There you go. Has Gary moved back to Brum, having seen my Hey, Douglas Hughes is here.
I believe that's your state after the bottom.
New convert.
Hi, Blue
No.
Boy.
Have you? No, hold on a minute, Penny. There is an update on this, and I think Doc should be the first because Doc's unquavering and relentless pursuit of Doug. Something very important has happened. Over to you, Doc.
Doug announced that he would be voting Labour at the next election.
Yes.
Which is absolutely fantastic, and I'm so honoured that he made that announcement on the show that I was guest on.
He became
resident guest.
basically. Yeah. So there you
Worked
go. That is it.
relentlessly there, Doc. You've done your business. Well done.
Yeah, I can retire happy.
Penny, you did play your part in that. You were a political fluffer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm less gentle than Doc, though. I'm less persuasive.
This is what Doug is still smarting with that. That
More
is
of a sledgehammer.
yes.
than a
Well,
rubber
Doug,
hammer.
good going. Look at that. Look at that. So there you go.
Yeah.
He has turned. So there you
Wow.
go. Thank you for. Should we bother to go through the answers of the Portuguese quiz?
Yeah, go on.
All right.
No.
Has the match finished yet?
Yeah, just 4-1.
4-1 to Brazil. Then.
They thought it was all over, and it is all over.
Oh, look at that! No sooner has Doug been converted, Obi opens up the political wounds once more with a discussion of this kind. One is either liberal or fascist. We perhaps shouldn't go there tonight, but we're open to it. But maybe it's all about timing, Ubi. Yes, I wonder what that is an answer to. It was Penny Fear that did it. Project Fear, Penny Fear.
Doug, welcome to the club, my darling. You are so welcome.
Look at that. Oh, yes, and please.
Yes, please.
I see. I wonder what. Oh, okay. That's probably the answers, isn't it? Rather than something else we may have heard.
Just to let you know, the Brazilians have just carried a big banner onto the pitch that says Pelé with a picture of him.
Really? Is that allowed? I wonder. Okay. Answers.
You're gonna get fined.
Not yet, but the night's young.
Not part of their, uniform.
Penny, you have a tidy closet.
I got my muffs. Oh yes, you can see a bit of my closet. Yeah.
And the
Is that
reflection
your,
is
is that,
really
is that
interesting.
your
Isn't
woolen
it?
nighties hanging up there in the back?
Yeah. Yeah.
The other side. What are those in the mirror?
That's
that
my summer
lingerie?
clothes.
Okay. I thought it was full-length lingerie that we might be. Yippee! Says Dougie. Dougie's going to be at the next socialist summer camp. I think that's going to be fun.
Woohoo.
Excellent stuff. So you can look forward to Dougie's company there. Okay, question 1 then. It was, of course, Frank Sinatra. Saddam Hussein is on record as having Mathias Rosé in his cellar, as was Queen Elizabeth, and Jimi Hendrix has been seen. I think I might.
I can imagine Frank Sinatra having, because they actually sent it out to around the world to celebrities and actors and everything else, didn't they? Back in the day when they were advertising it, they sent it out to the likes of Hendrix or wherever, all around to superstars and celebrities. So
that was a really good bit of marketing on Portugal. Portugal's not usually that ahead on marketing like that, is it? But I think you're right, Neil, with that. They had a very bold campaign.
That's how I thought the Queen got it somehow or other, but that's how
I really enjoyed our evening when we did our Mathias Rosé memorabilia evening. It was really good.
It was a classic, wasn't it? It's got to be Drunk Ice Cold. That was the takeaway from that night, wasn't it? I think. Okay, 285 then. Absolutely right. So who guessed that? And I think you all did. 285 native grape varieties. When you look at the varieties of grape used in Portuguese wine production, there are hundreds and hundreds. But when it comes to native grape varieties, there are thought to be around 285. Well done, everybody. Tinta Roriz, of course, not Tintanet or any of the others there. Very good. The world's first demarcated region was the Douro region. Okay. And pau pau queijo queijo is a useful phrase, but it is not a Portuguese wine quality classification. Portugal has. Oh, okay. I don't think we have any idea how big this is from the calculations we were trying to do earlier on. And it's not been helped by this excellent red wine, but it is 224,000 hectares. Now, I think, Phil, as an American, you say hectares, don't you? And the British say hectares. Is that right?
I don't know what the heck we say.
Very good. I see what you did there. What the heck?
Tomatoes.
Yes. And I think maybe
we don't say hectares, we say acres.
Oh,
yeah. They're still in the pre-decimal age.
Yeah. The convenience of sliding a decimal point around is so, that's that's so advanced or something. Or
yeah, it's so woke. Hold on a minute. Someone's come to say hello. Oh, they've gone again now.
That's quick.
Okay. All right. Let's go on to the next question, which is Toriga Nacional. Now, would everyone agree? Because I thought this would be a bit controversial, but some do say, and it's very subjective with wine, of course, but it's the most prolific and finest of the grapes here in Portugal.
I wouldn't agree with the finest. I'd prefer the Barga, but certainly the most prolific.
Since that afternoon.
The marketing department, did they ship it around the world to the different celebrities also?
Could be, couldn't it? Could be. I love what's going on at Neil's house. He's going backwards and forwards, isn't he, on his map there? Should we wait?
He's looking for his next bottle, I think.
Sorry, just 2 seconds.
He's doing a Superman circling the globe, trying to
in a really easy way. That's how to circle the globe.
It's easier to circle the globe than to walk around Neil's estate.
In his moccasins. Is that the saying? How the saying goes? Okay. All right. Okay. This is the port thing, isn't it?
All right. But we know the Bishop of Norwich, right?
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
Doc was onto something. You don't put it down. You hold on to it, don't you? And it mustn't touch the table.
Yeah.
And if anyone doesn't pass it on, it invokes the story of the Bishop of Norwich. And somebody will say, did I tell you about the Bishop or have you heard about the Bishop of Norwich? At which point it is okay to educate the person, the perpetrator of not following the custom in the right way and tell them what the story is. And that is so British and passive aggressive. It's
ridiculous, but it invokes memories of my days in Freemasonry.
What?
Did you say that the Port de Canada had a round bottom?
Yeah.
Was that purely for this game of not being able to put it down so it would roll around, or what?
I'm not sure. I mean, it was easier to blow round bottom glass vessels in manufacture, but I'm not sure whether there were any other reasons for them to be produced like that. But certainly, by the time you reach the late 20th century, when I was when I started drinking port at posh dinners, it was said it was so that you can put it down, but I don't know.
Yeah, because certainly, again, naval was that the port decanter was at a really big, flat, wide base, quite shallow, so it would actually stay flat on the rocking boat.
Sure.
It wouldn't tip. So that's why you see the port decanters I've always seen have been really big, flat base.
Oh, those would be the naval decanters, yeah.
Yeah.
It was just the Masons, Doc.
Yeah, could be. We had other strange things as well, you know. But I can't tell you, of course.
Of course you can't. Okay, we feel very privileged already that you even shared that much with us.
I'd have to kill myself if I did. So.
Please, there really is no need for that. Okay, so this has been a lot of value, this particular question, hasn't it? And left, as you said, I think, Neil, left is the way of remembering that it's the left-hand side of the boat as you look forward, right? The port is on the port on the left. And you can evoke the story of the Bishop of Norwich if you find yourself shamed in British upper class.
What is this? What is the story of the Bishop of Norwich?
You have to
there
put
is no story.
put the port bottle down. If you haven't put the port bottle down, you can't tell the story.
Yes, some wag, some snooty wag will say, "Did you hear of the story of the Bishop of Norwich?"
Yeah.
And then you'll say, "No, I'm sorry." Well, one passes the decanter to the left, obviously, and you'll still be no better off, but you'll have been shamed in front of lots of people.
Yeah, you can go as red as Carl does when Penny mentions smelling the inside of cricket boxes.
And it will be a British lesson you will never forget.
So you only learn about passing to the left when you put the bottle down?
Yeah,
that's confusing.
Well, it's Britain. What do you expect? It's the class system.
You have to remember, Phil. We've got heritage.
Yes, we can't make it easy for newcomers. Making it easy for newcomers is not how we roll, is it?
I'm sorry to hear about that heritage problem. Is that contagious?
Harry, what?
Look, go to the Centro do Sal de Lapa with that. We'll come on to that in just a moment.
I saw that.
Right, there we go. All right. I know I forget what the answer is here, in all honesty. It's either 740 or I think it's 7,400.
It's 7,400.
749 at Aldi.
Yeah, it's the well, you never know. You never know, do you? And what we
amazing what you can get for 749 is a pretty pricey bottle at Aldi.
Top shelf, isn't it? That is the top shelf in Aldi. For sure. So you keep an eye on Aldi for the W&J Graham.
So we're saying it depends on the year, right? Doesn't it depend on the year or not?
We'll do a bit.
Yeah.
I would assume that the 7,000 and the 700 would depend upon.
Well, just quickly, this is the one I did a tour of Graham's, and they still have, I think, 2 large oak wooden casks left, and this was the one, and it's from 1800 odd, this vintage, and it's been passed down through the generations, and there's only, I think, 2 casks left, if I remember. I'm sure I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's this one. And I think the 2 casks themselves, they said, had a value of in excess of £1 million.
Yeah,
the volume of what that's actually in them. So it would make sense.
That's your alcoholic futures market, because it could be like Raiders of the Lost Ark. They could be just full of water, couldn't they? Who knows?
That must be the oldest one, because bubbly is not forgotten. So I guess that's the oldest one they've got.
Yeah, there's 2 casks left.
Very good.
So the Aldi one for Christmas.
The Aldi Tawny.
Well, that's called the Knobbly.
I think we'll go for the mini Presso.
Yeah, fair enough. But watch out for the Knobbly. Watch out for the Knobbly that Neil was talking about.
Was Graham one of the earliest port
What producer?
Yeah, it was going, but then it was brought by Scottish family who moved to Portugal, the Symingtons.
Oh, okay.
So
Was
the
that
Symingtons-
before the American independence?
Long before. You see, Phil, that was another kind of Bishop of Norwich comment there. See what he did there? Yeah.
Sorry, Phil.
Ignore it. Okay. So, what was that, Penny?
There's a few swipes going on here, Phil.
There are, aren't there? It happens, doesn't it? In Anglo-American.
Bit like Tinder, is it? You swipe to the left or the right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Always
but
the left.
at least you end up with some sort of gratification with that. With Anglo-American relationships, I don't think it ends up like in the same way as Tinder, does it?
I don't know.
Maybe it does. Okay, I misunderstood the question. New Hendrix, like Matthias there. That Jimi Hendrix is gone makes me sad. That Keith Richards will never die. It makes me glad. The US, no one pronounces hectares in any fashion. All right, sorry. Hectares is used in Canada, though. Yes. There you go. Where they say it's a boot, 24,000 hectares over there. And Ubi, Elminum, you're correct. We don't know what that means. And none of us know what any of that meant in that question. So it's not Ubi, I'm still mourning the part. Oh, but should we raise a glass to Christine McVie, who we lost?
Oh, yes.
Right, who I will always
Definitely.
of and hold in my heart. So Christine, wow. I didn't realize she'd written so many songs I love. So Christine McVie,
Amazing.
what a legacy. Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you for the music, Christine.
Thank you. Absolutely. Is that when they pull a muscle? I wonder. And Michael Jordan's mansion in Chicago on sale for $14.5 million, really a bargain. It has a 500 bottle wine room. Does that mean they're included though, or is it just?
Is it full?
Yes. Who knows? I wonder. Well, there's a joke in there somewhere. What would be a basketball player's favorite wine? I wonder. Anyone?
Slam drunk.
Slam drunk. Neil, check you out. Yes, there you go. Again, not rehearsed in any way, shape, or form, just straight from the marvelous and humorous imagination of Neil this evening, aka Mr. Alan Tozer. I think in the old days they would typically have a holder of some type to support non-flat vessels. Think of a barbarian horn goblet.
Indeed.
Who doesn't like to think of a barbarian horn goblet every now and then? With
Get your lips around my horn goblet.
Which is different to a horn goblin, isn't it?
Or a horny goblin.
Horny goblin.
Ubi, send pics, Ubi. Does anyone know the origins of the word posh? That is also a nautical reference.
Port out, starboard home.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stu. Thank you, Don. That was Lee on evening, Lee. That was. I think Lee was asking that question on ourselves there. Posh is probably Norman French in origin, but I haven't. No. There we go. John and Pam. John knows these things. Supposedly, posh, port out, starboard home. The wealth had the most desirable cabins.
I do.
Go on,
I do know another meaning of the word of that posh synonym is in Jersey. The capital is St Helier, and all of the bins had posh written on them. The parish of St Helier.
Posh bins.
Yeah, thank you for that. Luxury tickets were stamped with the letters posh, so that you got on the port out and the starboard home. Very good. So, I mean, would you have changed so that you could get on and off? Yeah, it's like turning left or right at the top of the stairs, Penny.
Yeah, but what were you going to see at port and starboard on the way out, starboard on the way home?
Is it just?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You'd rather make sure you were on the was it oh for goodness sake. You'd have you the leeward side. You'd want to be on the windward side.
It doesn't relate to the side of the boat. It doesn't relate to the port and starboard side of the boat. It relates to the leading markers on the entrance into the harbour and out, because they obviously don't move. So when you come in, the port is on your left-hand side, so you have a red light, a wayward light, and a green light on the right hand side, the starboard. So when you're coming in, you'll come in with the red light on one side and green on the other. When you're coming out, it will be vice versa. So it's about the light, the marker buoy lights at the harbour, the home port, and not on the boat itself.
But still, why? What's the benefit?
Penny wants to book her next cruise and needs to know this.
I don't understand what the benefit was for these rich people to have got those particular views.
Don't know.
Doug will know. Not anymore though. He's gonna be downstairs with Leonardo DiCaprio next time. But from the old days, Doug, what does it mean?
Yes.
Lee knew that. Posh was just wondering what you all thought, I guess. Thank you, Lee, for that. I'm withdrawing my offer on Michael Jordan's mansion. The wine room is empty. There's space for 500. Rubbish. There is a YouTube video of Jordan's estate. Very interesting. Thank you, OLP, for that. I might show it on the morning show as a comparison to Portuguese value. Spending my final few 2022 Portugal days here in Montevideo, sipping away on a lovely Alentejo Vinho Tinto here on a seafront restaurant with you guys in spirit. He's moving on to the Aguardente. Lovely, Dougie. Send a picture, please, of the where you're sat. That would be lovely to get an Alentejo view, and I'll stick it on screen. That sounds like a lovely evening there. He's been called home urgently, so just enjoying a last night or two in Portugal there. Lots of love to you and your family. Port out for the lads, I think. Is that what he's shouting out to the waiter or something? Starboards. But what does it mean, Doug? That's what we need to know, isn't it? Anyway, we need to finish the end of the quiz. I noticed Leona's watching. Leona couldn't take any more.
Yeah, she's bored. She's texting a friend of ours who's been watching on Facebook.
Yeah,
who also thinks it's boring.
She's helping the rats throw themselves on the traps. Okay.
Lorraine, who's busted us.
Really? Okay, I'll try and make it more interesting next time. I'm sorry. The ninth largest wine exporting nation. It gets harder the more wine you drink doing a wine. That. Ninth, that would be, although it should be kept a secret. And of course, when Portugal joined the European Union in 1986, only 12 years after the revolution. It's quite extraordinary. I was in my local post office and I saw a poster on the wall marking 25 years since the revolution, Carnation Revolution. It's just so recent in history, isn't it? It's quite incredible.
But that poster's from 1999.
But still, Doug, I mean, you remember 1999 like it was yesterday, don't you?
I remember 1974 like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyway, we could go on about the revolution.
I think you're right that all of these answers could have been true as well on there. And it was Bonaparte, not the other Bunga Boni of Silvio Berlusconi coming in from Italy. And yes, they buried the wine. And I think they still do that as a thing with their wine.
North, isn't it? Right.
It is. That's right. But what a cunning ruse that they, when Bonaparte arrived, they said, we're teetotal here. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
It was buried.
Bonaparte's army marched up through Leiria on their retreat from Portugal. Okay. Very interesting.
Drowning their sorrows on the way and pillaging.
Yeah. They stole all of the Leirian wine cellars, which is why the good burghers of Boticas buried theirs.
Can you imagine? Did they say they were vegan teetotalers? And there's nothing to see here. Move on, and they're just.
I think, they only had wine to drink, didn't they? Because didn't the Brits move down, or was that with the? It was. I'm sure. And the Brits actually took all the food with them as they moved down the country.
Yeah,
they literally pillaged, took all the food away. So when they came in, they had nothing to eat. There was nothing left for them to eat.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that was Wellington's. I think that was Wellington.
Yeah.
Wellington. My understanding is also Wellington fortified the hills around Lisbon. Also.
Yeah, Torres Novas, wasn't it?
Yeah. There you go. Yes. Have we got a little sort of British thing we can say at that point, apart from "God Save the King"? No,
not really.
Everyone's struggling with that, aren't they? Those are the days. Okay, all right. So Napoleon Bonaparte in that case, and yes, of course, Vinho Verde.
Have you watched the episodes of Sharp?
And that the Peninsular Wars that Ubi mentioned are documented in that.
Yes, fantastic series.
Okay.
Really good. Sean Bean.
Well, there's two different things. Sharp is a fictional character, and so it's not a documentary. It's a
no.
drama that has some
based in those times.
Yeah, loosely based on some historical things.
Okay, but the French still get a pounding, do they?
Yeah.
Yes, the important pieces there. Yes,
that's all we need to know.
That's Spanish and the Spanish.
Okay.
Hopefully we can repeat that on Saturday.
All is well. Okay, so some say, and I think I blame journalists for this, that the Vinho Verde is because of the green landscape of the Minho, but actually I think it's green as in the sense of fresher,
young wines.
Yeah, green behind the ears kind of sort of vibe going on there. So there you go. That's pretty straightforward, isn't it? And where in the world listings of countries with the most vineyards? Mrs. M. I just tell you what happened then. Mrs. M just walked into the room wafting her nose like this. Does it smell like a teacher's scarf from in here?
It does.
Yes, there you go. So where?
Okay, so right, got it.
What?
No, I just read the question wrong. Now I've actually concentrated on reading it.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that, Neil.
I went I went B.
It is 8th, isn't it? It's got to be 8th.
Yeah.
All the others are very silly. But yeah, isn't that amazing?
But also to the left of Spain is right.
It is. Left is right, and
and right is wrong.
Yeah.
But isn't that remarkable? Portugal's incredible punching power, way above its weight, 8th in the world listings of most vineyard per capita. I don't know if it's per capita or land mass or whatever, but anyway, we'll take 8th, which is great. Espumante, of course, not bourboulante, which does mean bubbly, or bourboulmente, which also means bubbly, or muito frisant, which could also mean bubbly, but technically and correctly speaking, espumante.
I thought bubble mint was that mint flavored bubble tea.
Oh, that's with mushrooms. Is that with mushrooms in it? Oh, I remember 1974 like it was yesterday. Still get the flashbacks, eh, Doc? So which
they're in vibrant colours.
Yeah.
So it's Madeira. Doc, you were first on this, weren't you? And it changed from fortified wines into cakes here. But Madeira is a cake, of course, and there is some debate of what the difference is between a Madeira cake and a Victoria cake. Thank you, Mrs. M, for that. And 26, again, you were all, I think, on the money with that. Cliff Richard, Harry, whatever he was called. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Cliff, nor can you, Mrs. M, but Cliff Richard.
Vineyard. Is he sold as Vineyard? Is Vineyard or is up for sale?
Is it really?
I think so, yeah.
The only thing I know, he's in a battle for #1 with what's his face? That lovely young black singer. What's he called? Oh,
it's not narrowing it down for us, really.
Seal. Sorry, Scarface.
So annoying.
That was 1998.
He was on the radio the other day because he was like me. He couldn't remember his name because he's vying for #1 record with him and this lovely young singer whose name I can't remember.
Richard is vying for Christmas #1 again. No.
Yes, with Stormzy.
Stormzy. Oh, hopefully
Stormzy.
Christmas #1.
Normsy.
Let's hope Stormzy gets that.
Normsy.
No, Stormzy. He's a lovely young man.
Neil, could you please
Stormzy's great.
2020s, please. Seal and Norman Hunter. Come on, man. Get with the program. I think
I'm older than you look.
Cliff Richard is vying for #2 rather than #1, I would say.
What's this song then?
Is it Mistletoe and Wine again?
I don't know, some Christmas song regurgitated once more. I don't know.
Yep.
Regurgitated. What's this? Okay, I'm not going to even ask her to repeat
but yeah,
that.
I think Stormzy might just get it.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Do you know Mariah Carey's Christmas song? Do you know how much she makes every year for that song being released?
Shitloads.
Good for her, I say.
2.5 million a year. Well, she doesn't. Yeah, 2.5 million a year just
Wow.
on the replays of that song every year.
Good girl.
Amazing.
We should write a Christmas song together and
We
enjoy
should
the
do.
same.
Yes.
We'll get €2.5 a year.
We can do that, guys. Come on, we could do this with our incredible knowledge of history and Portuguese wine. Hold on a minute. I am
That's
neglecting.
going to be related to a Christmas song?
I have written Christmas songs, I'll have you know. Right, you'd see the shoreline. That's what I thought. If you're on the
From
port,
where?
look, if you're posh, you're not going to pay for a cruise just to see the bloody sea endlessly, are you? You're going to want to see the port. You want to see the port side.
Depends where you're coming to, surely.
Because
Yeah.
You're always going to be sailing with the port side on your left.
Well,
then
only
which
if
way
you're
you're sailing?
sailing along the
What
coast.
kind of sailor you are?
Yeah.
You only want to see the coast when you're sailing along the coast. It's not like you're that rich that you can see the coast when it's not there. I mean, I know some people would pay for that and probably.
But when you come out of a port, you've got coast on both sides of you, know?
Yes. Are you
Yeah.
going left and right, Carl?
I think, yeah, you gotta figure out where the beginning of the context is for that question, and we can have a discussion about any
Context
context you
is
like.
so important. Sailing to the Far East shoreline was port out and starboard. Thank you, John. I understand what you're saying. It's my colleagues here that are struggling.
Ah, yeah. If you're going around, if you're going down the coast of Africa and back up again, you'd
Yes.
always have the shoreline on the port
I
on the way
remember.
out and starboard on the way home. Yeah,
I
What are you
remember.
that
it.
makes
doing
sense.
Doc?
No, because you
Huh?
don't come back the same way. They don't do the same route back. You go to the north when you come back, south when you go out. So
Yeah,
you've
but
got
it
the trade winds on
Yeah.
on the North Atlantic.
no,
Which
I'm
you
talking
take.
about when they sailed to India, which is
Yeah.
where I think the saying the word posh originated during the days of the Raj. And when they sailed out to India, they would always have the coastline on the port side.
Not
And when
until
they
they went
sailed-
around South America, and then it would be
No,
on the
South
right-hand
Africa.
side.
South Africa. They went around South Africa.
They
And
went,
when they
Neil.
and when
so
they come
went
back,
east.
yeah,
He's got
they
he's
went
got a map
east.
behind him. He can show us. Look at a pen or a.
Yeah, there you go. But it's right
So
behind your head.
normally, you'd come out of here, you'd come down, you'd come
Can you
around
do-
here,
Behind you.
you'd come
Behind
up,
you.
and then you
We
go
come
back
round
that
your
way.
ear. We come
Okay.
round your ear.
How do you from the other year?
Where's your laser pointer? Come on.
So normally we come from here,
Yeah,
and here,
Yeah.
down to
Yes.
Gibraltar. You can go down to Cape Verde if you wish, and then you've got
Yeah.
trains like this here. So you take them across to here,
Yeah.
then
Huh?
they would either come down here and around, but you're saying
Nah.
this way, and here went all the way around there.
Yeah.
And then
That's the
here.
way they went to India.
Yep.
That's the way they went to India.
Yeah.
That's Doc talking about his teachers.
Oh
from
yeah,
his-
because India's here.
Yeah.
I think you talking about going across the Atlantic, and then they
No.
come and they tried to find the passage through Panama, and they didn't. They ended up coming down to the bottom here.
Hold on.
Yeah, but that cape round the bottom of South America was virtually impassable to passenger ships. They all
Yeah,
went
so
round. They went round
can.
around Africa.
Look,
Yeah,
you two.
so
There's
what
only
they
one
found
way
was
to
a
sort this
passage
out.
here. If you
God,
come
I'm
round
loving
here, you
this.
can come
Oh,
through here.
no worries.
Yeah, but the weather there is terrible. The weather there is terrible.
It
Okay,
is.
look, you two. Could you just have a fight? Could you just have a fight in the car park and sort this out? Yeah, let's have a scrap and just sort it out, and then come back with your arms around each other, saying how much you love each other in about.
Yeah, we do. Neil knows I love him.
All right, so I think we're on to the last question. Leona can come back for our after-show party. Oh no, we didn't. Herdade, Adega, Quinto are all names and words that you'll see on Portuguese wines. However, you're unlikely to see Centro de Saúde de
Sure hope
Lapa
not.
bottle of.
That's a clap clinic.
Sure hope not. Well said, Phil. But just make a little note if you need that. Okay. Hold on a minute. Ubi, Redcoat History is a good YouTube channel where I've been learning my military history stuff. Thank you, Ubi, for that.
Mm.
Oh, it's not real. How very dare you? And I'd rather be. Look at this. What is this in Latin? Doc will tell us. I'd rather be out of port than I'd rather be port out than out of port. Well said. Like a true naval man. South America, South Africa, potato. Well, not really. They were getting into a scrap about that.
Yeah, it's kind of the difference between life or death, actually, if you're going around those capes in the wrong time of year.
Exactly, Doc. Exactly. You wouldn't understand, Doobie.
I want to be clear about this. Sharp is based on some facts or some history, just like all our lives is based on some reality, but not.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Except for tonight's wine club, which is totally unreal.
And finally, the juicy red box of an evening. Which of these is not a Portuguese brand of boxed wine? Please stop laughing and sniggering at the back there. A Sopiash is definitely, because we tasted it on the good.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed it, didn't we?
What was the assessment of that? That's before my time there.
The problem with wine boxes is it says they're good for 6 weeks. They never last that long.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. And you don't know how much you've got in there. So you keep drinking it just to find out. Is that not what we'll do?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
This is not an assessment of Sopis, getting you to Sopis.
Well, that takes us back to Salazar again. Piash was a legendary cooperative that after the revolution was stormed and taken back by the people, I understand. Mm-hmm. And so it was a sort of revolutionary zeal that caused the Piash vibe in winemaking. And for decades, people would go to the Piash area of winemaking, which I think is in the Alentejo, and it became a thing. And it was a sign of of the revolutionary spirit. And then it got watered down and it got taken over by the marketing people again, as usual. And it's become quite more of a brand and a marketing thing than an actual symbol, a totem, an emblem of revolutionary spirit. But it was quite important, the whole Piash idea, which, of course, in English, you're going to be giggling a little bit when you see the word Piash. But we enjoyed that wine. It was good enough. And Oro de Mont is another good one. And Val de Burra, the Donkey Valley and the Mountain of Gold, they're all proper kosher red wine boxes. But
Carl, that's not Mountain of Gold. That's Gold of the Mountain.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So pedantic, honestly. Okay, you do the next quiz then.
No. I'm just don't want anyone to end up getting their Portuguese wrong. That's all.
Okay, fair enough. In that spirit, I grant you that. Portuguese wine quiz. Thank you so much for your indulgence. I'm so sorry that Leona had to go and help the rats onto the traps in the back of the room. But there you have it. I thought that was quite a nice.
Rope off from around her neck now. It's finished.
Leona, it's over.
Step down off the stool.
Leona.
Oh dear. Okay.
Leona.
You can come back.
Oh, look at this, John and Pam. See, you can't challenge the likes of John here. I think it's John, unless Pam is a nautical type.
Yeah.
Back in Far East, they went out back. They did not circumnavigate.
Oh,
there you go. So circumnavigation is an old-fashioned thing that should be continued in the modern age. Can you buy the wine you're drinking tonight in the US? Certainly hope so. Can you, Phil? Did you ever see it in the United States? The Trinca Bolotas, the Fallen Acorn wine.
I am not sure. I know that I use the Vino app, and it, I'm sure it will sell you a bottle, ship it to you. So
there is a simple solution, OLP, which is to move to Portugal. Which is
I would imagine that it's much cheaper here too. By the way,
can I just ask you, Phil? Your sister or sister-in-law bought it in the UK. Where did they get it?
I don't have the answer to that. I will find out and circle back next month, or I can find you on the. Yeah, I mean, so she lives in Cambridge. So
I've seen that in Herdade.
Aldi and Lidl do, one of the two do stock this brand. It is their marketing department is switched on enough to have it around the world. So you stand
my
a good
bad
chance.
then. I didn't manage to do it. Sorry, guys.
No, you mustn't. Please, Penny. We love how hard you work to get the wine. So you give yourself a break on this one. And how was your Prosecco this evening?
Very nice. It's nearly finished though, damn it.
It happens, doesn't it?
It outlasted the quiz. Come on now.
Alentejo, what's your marks out of 5 then, coming back to the wine?
3.5. It definitely improved. When I first opened it, it was really, really dry.
Yeah.
But as a lot of Portuguese wines and Alentejo wines in particular, it definitely mellows after an hour in the bottle. I opened it about 7:30, and by 7:30, it was it was definitely that. It had a nose. So we didn't talk about the wine really at all, but it definitely, to me, it had a nose of that damp leather, musty leather.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, which could and I found it did quite dry, but it's certainly mellowed now, and it's to me it's a lot better than it was when I first opened it, without a doubt.
Yeah.
It is a year older, but I don't think it makes too much difference. But now very, very drinkable. Certainly there's a black currant, something there, because there's black fruit, but it's quite there's a sharpness to it. So rather than a plum or something that's too sweet, it's got a sharpness. So I'd say more of a black currant, blackberry, and definitely, I can't get too much oak from it, but certainly I can get that musty leather. But nice wine, nice, good everyday drinking wine, without a doubt. Something
Nice
you'd
one.
happily
Okay,
drink.
3.5 because
3.5.
there's a bit of headroom for other fine Alentejo wines.
It's only personal taste. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the wine. It's just, I mean, that's what's difficult when you're marketing a wine, because I don't know about you guys, but I have a favorite type of wine. And so you tend to start judging wine to what you like to drink. Whereas I could drink a wine, I could give a wine that I like and give it to someone, and they're going to say, God, that's horrible. It's too full bodied. It's too big. It's too alcoholic, etc., and give it a 1 or 2. They could have a wine like a French wine or a very, very light wine, which they absolutely adore, which I really don't like at all, like a Dow or something, and they would rate it highly, and I wouldn't. So it's a very personal thing, but as a wine, it's a great wine. No problem
Well
at all.
said. Thank you, Neil, for that. Leona and Doc, let's go to you.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, it's red wine.
It is. Well,
but I
No
will
fooling
say
you.
that when I popped out just now, it was to gobble down some lemon drizzle, and after having the lemon drizzle on my palate, and then a sip of this, absolutely, really superb.
Nice pairing.
Yeah.
I think
you've still got a bit there, Leonie, of the drizzle.
I don't care.
That's normally my trick. So,
Doc,
what
is that? What is that pink fleshy thing in front of the camera at the moment?
It's his finger.
Oh, my finger. Yeah, sorry.
Thank God for that. Okay, carry on, Doc.
It doesn't smell like
what?
It doesn't smell like a cricket ball or a box.
Well, his finger
or a cricket box. Both.
What's your price?
Both of them.
What's your score? What's your score?
Price?
What's your score?
Oh God!
Oh,
score.
What's my price?
So I paid that. What's your score?
So my score for this would probably be 3.5.
Okay.
What about before the lemon drizzle?
Before the lemon drizzle, maybe 4. 4 now, before the lemon drizzle through.
Okay.
3.5 before and 4 now.
Yeah.
All right,
okay,
Doc,
so for me,
thank you for putting it away, Doc. What is your score?
For me, I'd just like to agree with virtually everything that Neil said. I think.
What about what I said?
I'll come on to you. So I did say leather and black fruit to Leona when we first started this. I think I said forest fruits, but same thing.
What you do in your private life is your business.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, we've lost Penny. Never mind. But it certainly improves an hour after opening or 2, which surprises me because there are a lot of Portuguese wines. You can open the bottle and drink almost straight away, and this is a little more complex. I like it. I like it very much, and I would. Bottles. Yeah, we got 2 bottles, which is great. So I might be up late tonight.
Problem is, can you leave it untouched for an hour or 2 before you want to drink it? Doc? That's the problem.
Well, if I open it now, I probably can. and I think we'll be going back to Intermarché next week to get another couple of bottles before my parents get here. But yeah, I love it. 4.4 for me.
Well said, Doc. Thank you very much for that. Great stuff. And yeah, to answer OLP's question, it is €5 or €6. I was glad to pay €6 at an Independence Day. As I was paying more.
£6.99 in Intermarché.
Okay, Continent, I think I've got it on a deal at the moment, making it like 5.5. But I actually like going to an independent and paying a bit more and thinking I'm sticking it to the man as I'm paying a little bit more to the independent, which I would.
No, the man's sticking it to you. They're all the same. Capitalist bastards.
Don't spoil my moment when I'm sticking it to the man. Now I'll think of you when I'm sticking it to the man, which is not. Okay. Did you score it, Doc?
Yeah, 4.4. You weren't listening.
No, sorry, I was drifted away there.
Bless you, Phil.
Now we'll go to Phil because he was his choice as the climax of tonight's event.
Whoa!
And I have put the link in. We have an after-show party. Sometimes we have a little drink together, and it's hard to imagine that we would say things there that we wouldn't say here, given what's going on. But we do say things that we wouldn't dare say on air or inflict on the listening public.
Are we on air still? Goodness me.
Did you think we stopped half an hour ago, Doc? Sometimes.
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
Talking about independence, Carl.
Yeah.
Talking about independence. Have you got a Garcia's near you at all?
Don't know that one. I've got the Estado Liquido. That is my latest.
Garcia's really good, really good. They a lot of hotels and restaurants go to them, so they're like a wholesaler.
Well, that's good to know.
And some amazing price. You talk about paying more, always pay less, especially for whiskies, gins, aguardientes. You get some really, really good prices there. Better than supermarkets often. Very often.
Thank you for that recommendation. Excellent stuff. Good.
What's the name of it? Say it again.
Garcia's.
Which sounds a little bit Spanish. Garcia's there. Okay. All right. If I could give my evaluation before we go to Phil. And yes, just to remind you, I am watching you live, Doc. Says Suze. Be afraid.
Hi, Suze. Good to hear from you.
and that link is to join us in the after show party. So gloves off, trousers off, everything off.
Gloves off. We had gloves on. Oh, okay.
Pink fleshy things out.
Thing is, Doc has already had his trousers off for the entirety of this. Anyway, I don't know. There's nothing left for him to take off. So yes, I didn't get leather. Did I smell damp leather?
Really?
It reminded me of the only time I recall damp leather is the Oktoberfest I did, where I wore lederhosen, and it's certainly the smell of damp leather at that event, which I would hope to repeat in Portugal. What a laugh Oktoberfest! So what a fantastic evening that was. We've done your price there, haven't we? €5 to €6. Pretty sure I saw that wine here, ridiculously expensive, as are all the other Portuguese wines in Canada. Except Matheus, it's cheap. Wait till I get back. You just wait. Just smoke Canadian pot. I don't know what she's talking about.
Awesome.
OLP does not want to get fleeced in the US. Oops, too late. Yeah, a little comment on the price of Portuguese wine there. We look forward to drinking with you at this side, OLP, when the time comes. Excuse me. Thanks for the local prize. Nothing smells as nice as a good leather shop. Old wet leather, not so much. Each to his own, right? What is a good leather shop, though?
I suppose when Penny was talking about the old cricket box, they were all leather back in those days. So they would have been.
Can you imagine? Can you
imagine?
Oh my God!
Well, tell us, Penny, were they all leather? The ones you used to sniff, or did they have plastic on them then?
Well, I had a stage where, darling, just leather was available.
Wow! Now. Doc
you sounded all, your eyes went all whizzy then, Carl. Thinking about something.
Carl's eyes.
Wow.
No, I was thinking of the Doc who at his posh school.
Oh, that's what it was then.
No.
The Doc.
This is going to sound really bad now. But Doc would have been measured for his leather cricket box at his posh school. Is that right? Was matron?
Yeah, I heard he just used the bucket. Is that right?
Yeah, I just about managed with the bucket.
Metric or imperial, Doc?
Huh?
Metric
Oh,
or imperial?
imperial, of course.
Old fashioned,
Metric
yeah.
hectares or acres.
Oh, I'll be laughing
owners-
all
the owners
night.
keep- the owners keep it
Poor
quiet.
deluded people.
You tell me the price of Grand Marnier in Portugal. I can't. I'm afraid I can't. I can't concentrate anymore after all those images. But we will find out for you. So I'm gonna say 4.25. I have enjoyed this. I have been unfair to it in the past. I have seen it as one of those supermarket. I got a bit of a beef about the over marketed brands, you know, because they put the price up, don't they? Then they mark the price down and they play with you. But this is going down real well tonight. I've got a bit of feta cheese. Although the feta cheese I bought had some weird kind of branding name of hard Greek-like cheese. They weren't allowed to call it feta in the Portuguese supermarket, but it tastes like feta.
That's right. Yeah.
I got a bit of stronger Saya cheese and a bit of toast, but Mrs. M nicked most of that and some olives here. Going down really nicely with all of that. So 4.25 from me.
Like a bit
Lovely.
of hard Greek.
I like a bit of hard Greek. Hard cheesy Greek.
I find I can't walk properly in the morning.
Right. So, Phil, thank you for choosing this one. Last words on this to you. And if anyone else wants to join us for a drink afterwards, you've got the link to do that. Over to you, Phil.
Super. Yeah, I'm a 4 1/4 kind of guy on this. I think Neil's comment was about what a preference is, and that might be a handy thing to launch. You know, I recommend this, but like in the States, one of my favorite wines was Norden. So it's actually very tannic grape or wine. And then, you know, if I wasn't having that, I would go for more of a Merlot. And so this is kind of that, and it needs time to breathe. Say again?
That I gather that will be oaked then.
Yes, both. And so both of those really kind of need some time to breathe. And so that's kind of my assumption, and that's the way I like. That's my. You know, I haven't actually. I wouldn't say. So this is one of the things. This is kind of my go-to wine when I'm like, okay, go to the store. And like, so I thought I'd share it. So that's kind of why. So I recommend, you know, those that are watching, check it out. You know, it is. You know, it needs time to breathe, and it's. I think it's one of the more tanny wines I've run into.
Yeah.
And I certainly enjoyed the quiz and all the crack that's been the rest of it.
None of which.
And if anyone watching buys the wine and has more fun than we have, then you should be on screen for the next one.
Yeah,
Well,
join us next time. Yes.
Ubi, thank you, Phil, for that. Three Amigos will always be my go-to Alentejo wine. I can't help but think of Steve Martin when I think of Three Amigos, right? Never more than a couple of euros at Pingo, sometimes less. And finally, then, I know where Peggy and Carl are. I know where you live, says OLP. But where are you others located? Would you care to say, please, those of you who are on the screen with us? Neil, let's start with you.
Where am I? I am in Areolas, which is just 10-12 minutes out of Évora, which is the capital of the Alentejo. And it's a hugely productive wine region, well, the largest wine region of Portugal, as you all know. And we are just blessed with so many wine producers. Within 30 minutes drive of us, I could probably go to 15 or 20 major wine producers. So quite
Neil,
lucky.
will you do tours yourself one day? Because I'd love to go on a tour with you. Will you do that, or is it just for fun?
Funny enough, toyed with the idea. Thought about it. Funny enough, I've thought about planting some vineyards at home, but it's a lot of work. You know, my nephew wants me to do it. He's passionate about wine, and but it's just a lot of work. So I don't
do it. I don't
think so. I'll be dead by the time I'm producing decent wine. So It's easy to
Well,
let someone else
you
just drink
saw
it.
Chris Price, didn't you?
Sure.
Chris is 83
Yes,
and he's still
yeah,
making
yeah.
wine. I mean, he's a legend. He's an inspiration to us all.
Yeah.
Neil, you could
Yeah.
manage the vineyard we're about to buy.
Yeah.
How about that? There's an offer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Whereabouts? You're on the west coast, are you?
Yeah. Lyria.
Leria, that's where OLP. That's where Leona and Doc are. And
Estamos en Lyria.
there
So
you go.
you're buying a place with an established vineyard already?
Yeah, it's a small place. It's probably got enough for a I don't know.
A bottle.
I worked it out. I can't remember, but it would be a few hundred bottles a year, but not a huge amount.
Is it true that
Do.
there's
I mean, we've got 3 hectares. But part of the property, we've got about 60 olive trees, and then we've probably got 2 hectares which I could put vineyards in, and there's one area which is specific, is perfectly flat. It's lovely. Would be really, really nice. And we've got a basement in the house as well. So it's sort of everything is here to do like a boutique vineyard, but I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot.
Come on, Neil. It sounds fantastic.
It's a lot to
Please.
do.
We would be your first,
really get
your first
established.
customers. We promise to be your
We've
first.
got nothing, so it'd all be from scratch. So you're talking a good number of years before you really get established.
So we have the vines, and the guy was producing wine now. I mean, so, and it's on a lovely north-facing slope, plenty of water, but it gets lots of sun.
Facing, so you're not going to get a huge amount of sun on those then.
Well, no, it does, because it's not totally north. It's probably northwest, actually.
It's port facing.
Probably northwest.
Changes all the time.
Neil,
Just about 100 bottles a year. So that's not enough. So it's only enough to drink personally then.
Well, that's true. I know it's more than 100.
You're still going to have to buy. You're still going to have to buy some at that, aren't you?
It's true. You know what he's like. Doc, maybe you could introduce your mate Luis Pato to Neil at some point. Phil, where are you in Portugal so that OLP knows?
Yeah, so I'm on the Silver Coast. I'm just outside of Óbidos, or somewhere in an area called Caieiras. And we don't have any grapes on the property currently, but we're next to 2 hectares, and they spray nasty chemicals, so we're going to try and talk them out of that and or out of the property.
Yeah, good
So
idea.
a couple hectares of grapes, if we can.
Very good. Cheers, Phil. Thank you so much for choosing this wine tonight. Really enjoyed it. And John H has decided to join us. So John will be here for the after show party. Hey, John, in Colorado this evening. And the link is there. Make sure you cut and paste it now, everybody, because we're about to finish, apart from saying thank you to Penny in Devon, to Neil, a.k.a. Alentejo in the Alentejo, to Leona and Doc in Leria, and to Phil in Gaieiras near Óbidos. And me. Go on, Penny, please.
Well, you know, I grow grapes, I grow pears, I grow whatever. But for me, you know, I know it's different to creating a sustainable commercial stuff, but to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. To the young man, Neil, plant today for tomorrow.
Yeah. Very good.
You've been told, Neil. And thanks for the locations. Yeah. I just know Peggy is in Great Britain. I didn't ask you, Penny, who is in Devon. Peggy is in the Algarve. Penny is in Devon in the UK. Delightful banter, says Ubi, and infectious buzz, folks. Thank you, Ubi. You've absolutely contributed to that tonight, so thank you very much as well.
Thank you,
so
Ubi.
we shall say goodbye. Thank you for those wise words at the end there, Penny. Absolutely brilliant. And we shall see you next time, the first Monday of
next year.
What will that be? Let me just make sure it's not a crazy day of the week. We are talking about
special, Carl.
Do we have a special? What, before Christmas?
Christmas wine. We're gonna do a song, aren't we?
Christmas piss up. Okay, so maybe there'll be one on the 2nd of January.
No, that's too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon?
I don't think you're gonna get many people on this. Well, I could be completely wrong.
Nobody's gonna want to drink then, are they? Nobody's going to want to drink on the 2nd of
Or
January.
they'll still
Who said?
Penciled in,
We
it's
do a non-alcoholic wine. I don't know. Do they make this?
We tried that once, didn't we, Penny? Do you remember that
Oh, really?
non-alcoholic night that we
We
had?
did. Yeah.
Yes,
Really
it was very somber. It was when Doug doubled down on his Tory voting, didn't he, that night?
It was
Who
a
just
great
disappeared?
night.
Who just went there? Who did we lose?
Neil.
Oh,
Yeah.
Neil.
What's
He's
going
in
on for this non-alcoholic wine?
2nd of January, then is the next one, and we may have one in the meantime. So thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate you all, and we'll say goodbye with our little theme tune. And yes, Suze, join us next time if you will. And yes, splurge and join us on the screen. Ciao, ciao, bye for now. And if we don't see you before then, bosh, bosh, dash, folks.